What's up, everybody? It's Raw Dog Shonen. One half of the Raw Dog Shonens here. How's everybody's week? We got another chapter of One Piece here today. So let's get right into it. We're at chapter 1150. After coming off that incredible chapter last week with Gunko getting possessed by IMU, we're probably going to take off right there. So we see the cover page. We got Yamato with... always get these two mixed up. But they're at the shrine with the two from Kaido's crew. One was like, they're both dinosaurs. But let's get right into the chapter. There we go. Let's do that. Let's get in this chapter. Here we go. We start off this chapter. It looks like, okay. So I've already read the chapter. I'm just recapping it. So I like to go back through when I do the videos. I like to recap through the chapter. Just go over key points and things that I might try to look forward to and theorize for something in the future. So we start this chapter off. We got a few of the giants running up to the kids that were previously walking to the edge. And they're still forced to walk and they have nothing to run to or anything. And it kind of looks like there's hopeless. But we see IMU use a conqueror hockey, but it's like it has to be like some sort of higher hockey than that. But it just says silence in it. Passes out. Those giants, those kids are passed out. People all the way where the Jarl is are getting passed out from this. And then the next page, you see, I always get these two mixed up, but Bragi and Dory. We see those two running up, and they're going to go after Gunko, aka IMU at the time. IMU possessing Gunko, so they're running after IMU at this time. And we see that is happening. We also see in this part, we see IMU use this ability, like it's like that spellbind circle thing that they open up to where the God Knights and also the Gorosei teleport from. We see IMU use that devil's spear or scepter, I want to say. We use IMU using that, and it almost looks like IMU is using other, like maybe Five's power, I want to say, because she brings out like a double barrel, you see, and she shoots it, and it does the same thing. It blows up. But what we also see IMU do is another ability where she can take life forces and stuff. That's like from Big Mom's ability. Like, it's weird. Like, does IMU have the ability to possess devil fruits? Because IMU is the devil, and that's like what we're slowly gonna learn about. Because like we've learned that this is the Adam tree, so there's got to be an Eve tree, and that's where I think the devil fruits are probably coming from, is the Eve tree, which is probably secretly in Marijoa, but it's like deep in Marijoa, like in IMU's palace. So it's like weird because like now, how do devil fruits get out of that area if they're in there or wherever this tree is or something? But we go to that next page after that. We see Robin forcibly trying to escape because she wants to go save the library, all those books. And I was thinking about it last week with that owl being in there and the owl's ability to be able to shrink the books and stuff. Wouldn't the owl be able to just shrink those books, take the books somewhere, or get all the books out as possible, or shrink the books so small that the flames of the building around it, the structure fire, I would say, around the building, wouldn't really, what's the word I want to say? Wouldn't really burn everything inside the building itself, but like the books and everything being tiny, and the owl can just fly away or something like that. I don't even know why owls don't fly like that, but yeah, the owls fly away and be able to get all those books. But I have a theory that Robin's gonna get out of this thorn area, and she'll be the one going in her demon form, scooping up water in her big demon hands, and then putting it over there. And I think she's also going to probably build a new library before they leave Elbeth. I think that's going to be something that's going to get brought up. But in the next scene, we see Summers getting healed up, and you see his hand like has the cuts and stuff. And I don't know if Emu is healing Summers, but it's hard to say in that panel who's healing who. But that's something that I'm theorizing. I don't know if it's the God Knight's abilities that they're invincible, but I also feel like with that ability of lifespan and all that, and Gunko looking the same almost as like years back, 50 years back from Brooke first meeting her, it's like, do they get like the lifespans of other beings or other people that Emu can take from, and they drain those lifespans Emu does and gives those out to the God Knights so they can live for eternity. But the only like that theory is a little bit contradicting because we see Shanks' dad, Fingarlin, we see him very old though. So maybe there's something a little bit different with his story compared to the rest of the God Knights. And that's something we'll probably find out later on. But I also do believe it has something to do with the lifespan and why some of those characters look very young. Like Gunko looks still semi-young, while Summers looks very old for his age. But he's probably twice his age that it is. But we see Broggy, grab a hold of Emu with Gunko very easily. Like, this is where we understand, like, giants are the strongest. Without devil fruits or anything like that, giants or hockey, giants are the strongest being in One Piece that we know of. Maybe, like, Lunars, the what King was with the flame wings and all that. Maybe they're probably one or two. But, like, right now, giants are, like, the strongest beings in the One Piece world without hockey or anything like that. And then we see Brogy capture Gunko very easily, Emu, very easily, and you see him in the hand. And then Emu brings that demon book out, which gets me theorizing that there's got to be a reverse book. Because, like, and the reverse book is going to be something possibly that Kuma has, that Bible, or it's maybe something that Luffy learns later on while learning more of the sun god's abilities and all that. And that's why I think this area where they're at, Luffy's going to unlock the true potential of Nika and what Nika can do. But we see Emu brings this book out, casts the spell, and she puts a dagger, it looks like, into Brogy's arm. And when she does that, the next thing she does is spawn out a gun, that double barrel gun, which looks a little bit different from what she had before in the spell chamber thing. But she brings that out and she blasts his hand right off, like very easily, like almost way easier than what Doflamingo did with what's that guy's name way back? Don't butcher me, but the guy from the Whitebeard Pirates, that Orange Jr. is his name, and that he chops the leg right off. Gunko / Emu, Gunko, whatever you want to say. Emu, we'll say Emu from here on out. Emu does that very easy, by blasting the arm off, which we see that. And when we see that happen, right underneath Brogy is that spell circle, the demon circle that they see. And Emu casts that, which is weird. And all you see is Brogy's body gets sink down and then like rotate. And then when he comes back up, it's like it's reversing him, like inside out. I think it like shows like the worst of you, which bringing a demon version of Brogy out, which he's bigger. He's one of those demon giants like Oars. So he's huge now, bigger than what he was before. And he has a bigger axe, and he has horns as like Oars does, and the teeth too, like Oars. So this is probably where the demon giants originated from back then. And we get to see that now. So there's got to be some sort of theory and everything with the abilities of having that. And we also see the other giant, Dory, gets possessed too, and he becomes the same. But Dory says something very scary, in my opinion. Dory says, it's time to kill the King Jarl, which there is no king really that rules over Elbeth at the time. It's technically Jarl is the highest member, but there's no person sitting at the throne. Which now I have a little bit of a side theory about this with Loki. Now is Loki might actually been a good guy. Like Loki killed 100 giants and his father, which now all makes sense. Maybe he killed 100 possessed giants and his father who was possessed. And then when all those other giants came to that scene, it was all done. And like no matter what he would have said at the time would never matter. Like it's almost like you caught me at the wrong time, but no, it doesn't matter what I said because you guys know I was the guy that was going to kill my dad just sooner or later down the road because it was told in the story. So I could go on for days for that theory, but I would love to see that in the comments. So if you guys ever have any theories in the comments, we'll bring those in. But let's get back to the chapter. We see IMU tell Dory and Bragi that they need to go kill King Jarl and they need to take the throne of Elbeth, which that's what they're doing. And you see this big spread of all those dream creatures that the kids dropped up at the time, getting back up and all 100% healed and everything. It's a big spread of them and Dory and Bragi and some more demon giants that IMU created at the time. And this gets very scary because it's like we're learning a little bit about IMU's powers, but at the same time, we're trying to figure out what this whole demon realm is because it feels like there's a whole different world now that we're not even being taught about. So maybe like down the line, the Straw Hats will go into this demon realm, or maybe one of the Straw Hats gets possessed, and that might happen soon. They had to figure out how they can get them unpossessed. Like it has something. The counterpart has to have something to do with Luffy and his Nika abilities. Like there's like I don't understand it to a point because Luffy is a god, Nika is the devil, so the sun god has to compete against the devil in a way. But then that gets me off topic a little bit. That gets me theorizing with what is Blackbeard? If IMU is the devil and Blackbeard is just the darkness of the vortex of emptiness, then what? It's gonna make sense in the next few chapters. So we see that, and you see the last panel, which is cool for Giants, and I think this is something that's gonna help one of the Straw Hats understand what it takes to be a brave warrior. And I that's what I'm really liked about it, where Jarl says, never tell a warrior to run from battle. And that's maybe Jarl is the guy. Maybe who knows? Maybe Jarl will take on Dory and Bragi. Here's where I think things are gonna go. Sat on your back, and let's get going. Here we go. I think Chopper and Scott Gabon are going to be down in the Demon Realm. They're going to talk to Loki and the Straw Hats, and they're going to tell them what's going on, and they need to get moving. Like, hey, we need you guys. We need the A-team here. We need the Monster Trio plus Loki now, because Loki's going to have to be that guy. In my opinion, I think Loki's going to be the guy to take care of most of the Giants. Luffy's going to have that one-on-one fight with Gunko and / IMU. And I think Luffy's going to lose. Like, I think Luffy's going to come in thinking that he can beat him and lose. But I think Luffy and the crew will survive. And I think Loki's the one that's going to save them to survive and get off Elbaf. I don't see Shanks coming to help him, which is scary. It's like, maybe this is when the Grand Fleet comes. Like, Luffy gets to the point where they know. Because, like, this would be the sign. Like, IMU's here. The final boss is here, but not here physically, possessing one of them. So they got to know that he's in danger. Like this is probably the most dangerous Luffy's going to be in at this time. Like you have, well, I mean, what was you guys say? Like we see 6 demon giants and a bunch of demon dream creatures in the background that they're going to all have to face again. And it seems like they have that ability to regenerate themselves, but it's also going to be hard because like we don't know like what's going to happen with Dory and Bragi. Can you fight them? Like, are you going to be able to fight them? Do they have the ability to regenerate, or do they have the? Well, they must because he has his hand back. But do they also like if they die as this? Do they die eternally, like all around? Which it goes all around. But I got a theory. Next chapter's got to be the one where we're gonna see Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, Scott Pergaban, and Loki all sit there and meet up and talk. And I think Scott Pergaban's gonna be very badly injured, falling down, to the point where he's not gonna be able to get back up and fight for them. And I think Scott Pergaban's gonna tell Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, and Loki, which I think Loki already has the ability to do the same thing Scott Pergaban can do, but he's gonna tell Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, the 3 power up guys, some sort of like hockey ability. Like it has to be something with some sort of controllable hockey that you can use that in a way that's better than King hockey. That he's gonna have to try to teach them within minutes of, hey, you gotta reach in within yourself to show your true power. And that's what they're gonna be able to do. And I think what's going to happen long term wise down the road is that I think this Elbath battle will be the battle that they win, but they lose at the same time. Like how Egghead Island was a more of like an escape mission. This is going to be more. I think this is going to be their big loss. Like they lose, but they don't lose Elbath, but they lose the biggest thing in Elbath, which is the tree. I think the tree will fall down at the end of this arc, and how it falls down, I think it's going to be by IMU and the God Knights. And when that happens, I think that's when either 2 things are going to remotely happen. I think either it'll be cool, like Loki's the one that like puts the tree on his shoulder when it falls and tries to bring the tree back up so it doesn't fall out into the world. And also, we have to get up to the heavenly realms. We have to find out what's up there. So there's so much that needs to happen still, and we'll get there. I feel it, and I think Emu's goal is to get to that heavenly realm also. Like Emu's understanding, like there's something up there in that heavenly realms that you can't let Luffy get there, and that's what we'll probably find out in the next few chapters. I got a feeling we're probably maybe like 15 chapters away from this arc ending, truthfully, which will be nice. It'll be probably like almost fall time or maybe to the end of this year. We might get to see the end of this. But we're definitely in the final arc now. We're in a war, which I feel like Emu's also going to use those knights, those not knights, but those giants. And you got to think about this too. I thought about, just popped in my head, Marineford, when those giants were all front in the front line. No wonder Oda keeps saying that we're not ready for the final war because so much is going to happen. I think so many people are going to be turned into demons by Emu that work for the Navy and the Marines and all that. And I think it's almost going to be like one side versus the other, but like it's almost going to be like, in a way, I also think not just the Straw Hats, but everyone's going to have like a little bit of Luffy. Like how Naruto went his Sage Mode and gave his Sage Mode to everybody in the battlefield and stuff in the final war. I got a feeling that this will be similar in a way. Like we're gonna have demons versus the sun gods, which will be awesome. Like in my opinion, and it'll be cool how this all works out. I've been more invested into One Piece now than I have ever been in the series. I love the card game, but it's great like to see where the series is gonna go. Also, if you guys have any good theories or you guys have any opposition of what I'm thinking of or think that I'm going down the wrong path with some of my theories, Let me know in the comments. I would love to see that. Also, if you like what we're doing here and you like Boruto or you like One Piece or you like any other content in that type of anime field, let us know. We would always love to hear that. And we just love to just build a community out what we got going. So if you like what we do in the Raw Dog Shonen, like and subscribe. And if you want more of this, we'll be back around. I know my boy Seth Dog, he's going to be doing a lot of Boruto content, and they come out, he was telling me, once a month. So I'm going to keep up with the One Piece for the time being. So we might see a lot more on the channel of One Piece for a while before we get back into the Raw Dog Shonen of Boruto. But we'll still be giving you some Raw Dog Shonen content. So we're new to this channel. We're here for a while, maybe for a lifetime, but we're going to be your Nakamas and your crew. So come along, join a ride, and while we explore this anime world. And with that being said, like and subscribe again. And see you next time on the Raw Dog Shonen.